What was it like in your house after Easter dinner and that Syracuse game hit? A lot of yelling going on, a lot of excitement, a lot of babies crying because everybody's screaming.
Yeah, we had some babies crying.
Yeah.
Carter was getting, my son was not used to everybody erupting with cheers and applause. I think it caught him off guard because he went into a little crying spat after that. I think it just alarmed him. But interestingly, it was funny. We had 16 at on my wife's side for dinner there. So and everybody, even like the great grandmas and the aunts who aren't sports fans,
They're watching.
hung around to watch this because it was like a big family thing. And ironically, earlier in the day, I was at my mother's side where there was only like 7 of us, and I was the only because of everybody splits up. One's traveling, one's this. So I was the only man there. It was some, I don't want to say older women, but older than me, and they had no interest in men's basketball, women's basketball. Like the conversation was completely different over there than it was on my wife's side.
I found it to be interesting when Syracuse made their run. It was not an overly visible move when they made their move.
Right, it was sudden.
It was but it was somewhat subtle.
Yeah,
and maybe I just wasn't paying attention. And
you're right.
I reached that point where I was kind of like coming to the conclusion that maybe we finally met our match here.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I remember just kind of looking up and saying, "Are you noticing that we're back in this thing now? We're only like 6 down."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was a huge comeback. Just crazy. Even my wife sat and watched it, or she taped me watching it. Terrible.
I had made the comment earlier. I had said, well, they're not going to come back. Let's go. But at that point, it was, I think, an 11-point game, and then the Syracuse scored, and they went to a timeout. So it was a 9-point game. I think it was 58-67 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Richardson made a layup. Then they got to stop. Then he made a couple of free throws, and then all of a sudden he hit a 3. Then he made another layup. But it was in the course of about 6 possessions, only maybe 1 to 2 minutes, where all of a sudden Syracuse went from really a double-digit deficit to then they were up by 4, just like that.
Yeah, crazy.
Malachi Richardson, I'm hopeful that he sticks around for a while.
Oh, he's got to. I mean, he didn't even play that much this year.
These are freshmen. If these kids stick around, it seems like they will, this is going to be an amazing run that Syracuse has. They could really be strong next year.
There's a new freshman that they've been playing, too, that had a huge role in the game against Gonzaga. Didn't do as much yesterday, but that Brown, I think, is. I'm not sure.
Frankie Howard? Howard?
His last name is Brown, I think. It might be Howard.
I think
number 1.
Yeah, I think
anyway,
it's Frank Howard.
There's a lot of potential for some.
And I do feel bad that so my daughter's dance teacher's daughter, last night my daughter's dance teacher, who is Alicia Dodge, put on Facebook that her young daughter, Kylie, had said, in the words of Kylie Dodge, we are going to Houston. Now that Cuse is going to Houston for the Final Four, it shall now be called Houston, *Houston. So I'm like, oh, I like that. And I tweeted the thing out, and I texted it to a few people. All of a sudden, Syracuse University, the Syracuse basketball Twitter account picked it up. They retweeted it and said, T-shirt alert. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to be feeling really bad if these people are planning on selling T-shirts, and now they're already out. It's done. The T-shirts are being sold. I just stole their $1 million idea. What a terrible person I am.
Kylie Dodge needs to get a portion of the royalties.
She should be getting some of the royalties. It was her idea. Joe Uvani in Rome. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Bill.
What's up?
I'd like to give you an opportunity to save some lives.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, you know what it's doing outside right now?
It's raining pretty hard.
Yes, and what should we be doing as drivers?
Oh, we should have our headlights on.
I don't hear you mention that very often.
I guess I don't mention that, and I probably should. So you're right. I mean, I kind of forget about it because my headlights come on automatically.
Yeah, but do your taillights come on too?
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
I didn't know that.
Getting down to this, it's important. The lights on a car serve 2 purposes. Everybody thinks you need them to see. You don't need lights to see where you're going today.
Right.
But you need lights to tell people where you are. Think of a car being, 1,000 feet away down the road,
right,
coming at you today. with no lights on. You hardly
You're right.
see them.
You don't pay attention. You know what's
Lights come
Joe?
on, and you pay attention to it.
Joe, if I'm correct, wasn't it a terrible tragedy that happened here locally that inspired this law in New York State? I'm pretty sure it was.
Well, the deal that really burns me up is people will have their windshield wipers on and lights on. They don't signal.
Mm-hmm. Nobody signals anymore. It's terrible.
Yeah, because I heard one guy say, well, I know where I'm going. They said, no, the purpose, know.
Yeah.
Let the other guy know.
Yeah.
You go to an intersection, two cars approach an intersection.
Don't get me started on this.
There's
it's
9 different possibilities of what could occur.
Well, and what kills me is everyone has forgotten the rules. You get to an intersection, people don't pay it.
Including you. You don't mention them.
Okay, you're right. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Right,
one other
I'll
thing.
take responsibility.
One other thing. The walkers. They got to walk facing the traffic.
Good point.
They don't. And, I got mad one time. I put a sign up. I used to teach, and I put a sign on my window. You walk facing the traffic, it could kill you. And I put it up, and 5 minutes later, I took it down because one of the co-teachers had just gotten run over.
Oh my God!
Not walking facing the traffic.
Right. Well, if you're not facing the traffic, of course, the reason is you don't see what's coming at you.
Very good.
Yeah. All right. So I'm learning something, Joe. I'm trying.
Well, there's a whole mess of stuff. If you go back to it, over 2,000 years ago, they started using candles on carriages not so the horses could see where they're going,
right.
but so people could see this carriage approaching a mile away.
Well, there you go.
So it goes back to the carriages. The boats are the same way. Those running lights on a boat, they're no good to the people on a boat.
Right. It's for everybody else.
Everybody else.
All right, Joe Giovanni. I appreciate the correction. I will.
Every once in a while, give it a thought.
I will.
Oh, if it's raining, you got your lights on.
All right.
Did you signal for that last turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
I appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate that, Joe.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye.
It might become my trademark now. I steal everything from everybody, like the little Kylie Dodge. I stole it from her. I steal that. I'm going to steal this from Joe Giovanni. It'll be mine. It'll be my trademark. Hey, it's raining out. Turn your lights on. Maybe I'll do that. I'd also like to say to those people that when you're there, and if I'm turning left and you're going straight, we're at the intersection, okay? We're facing each other. There's a street in front of us, both of us. If I'm turning left, you're going straight. Who has the right of way?
Unless it's a signal light that tells you can go, the other driver has the right of way.
You mean the person going straight has the right of way?
Yeah.
Then why do I have to sit there and wait for the person to go? And then it never fails. Finally, I get sick of waiting, and I go, and what do you think happens?
They move.
They move.
Did you have your signal light on?
Yes, of course I did. I do use that. The point is, no one knows the rules anymore. And then my favorite is when they'll wave you on like you're an idiot. And it's not just a normal wave. It's a, come on, jerk. What are you doing? Well, I'm turning left, and you're going straight. Anyway, that's my little gripe for the day. Kind of happened over the weekend. Hold on tight. We'll come right back. Hey, it's raining out. Turn on the headlights. Break. Come right back at WIBX.